This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we present you with another incredible country. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Ireland. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel. We're so happy to have you here with us today since we're talking about Ireland. Ireland's been spoken about since the glacial period. In 10,000 BC, Ireland was covered by ice, and in 16,000 BC that ice melted, separating the land from Great Britain. We are sure you've heard at least once in your life about St. Patrick, Guinness beer, and the tales of the treasures hidden at the end of the rainbow. Even if parts of Irish history have been very dark, it remains a land of poets, storytellers, and musicians. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. With all that said, here are the 15 things you didn't know about Ireland. Number 1. The Irish have migrated a lot through the years. Even if overall employment and career opportunities are improving in Ireland, they still have a long way to go with the country's development. Since 1700, more than half of the population of Ireland emigrated, namely 10 million young people left for either Great Britain or the US. In the 21st century, an estimated 80 million people worldwide claim to be of Irish descent. This phenomenon was caused by political factors and long-time wars, but nowadays people under the age of 25 decide to leave the country because they cannot find a proper job in Ireland. By 2020, the government promises to support 70,000 people to return to their home country, which could be great for the population. Number 2. 10 million pints of Guinness are produced in Dublin every day. Guinness is one of the most successful beer brands worldwide, available in over 120 countries. The creamy beer was created in 1759 in the brewery of Arthur Guinness at St. James Gate Brewery in Dublin. The burnt flavor of Guinness is derived from malted barley and roasted unmalted barley. Nowadays, 10 million pints of Guinness are produced daily in Dublin. And if you're interested in the process of brewing at the Guinness Storehouse, a self-guided tour includes an account of the ingredients used to make the stout and a description of how it's made. So add that to your visiting list. Oh, and did you know that one Guinness draft has fewer calories than the same amount of orange juice? Number 3. Irish data was used by Cambridge Analytica from Facebook. The Cambridge Analytica scandal is at the center of every online debate right now. Started in April of 2018, Facebook alerted its users that their private data may have been compromised in the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Almost 45,000 of these users are Irish. Through the This Is Your Digital Life app, people who chose to log in with Facebook might have given up their personal information to Cambridge Analytica. The truth is, more than 87 million people around the world might already have been victims of this phenomena, even if Cambridge Analytica stated they only had the data for 30 million Facebook users. Number 4. Ireland could gain 100,000 jobs by embracing driverless technology. Ireland might become one of the first countries to develop the driverless technology, but for that, they first have to make sure the road network is fit for its purpose. In the next few years, the global car market is expected to grow to over $180 billion, and if the self-driving cars enter that marketplace, Intel said that $7 trillion would be added to Ireland's economy. A part of that, new technology means an increase in the workforce demand, namely 100,000 jobs being created at first, which would be great for Ireland, while it struggles to fight the high unemployment rate. Number 5. Palonji Shapoorji Mistry is the richest man in Ireland with a net worth of $18.8 billion. Palonji Shapoorji Mistry was born in 1929 in India and has Irish citizenship due to his marriage to Perrine Dubash, who is an Irish-born. He is, at the moment, the richest man in Ireland, with a net worth of $18.8 billion as of 2018. A significant part of his fortune comes from owning the largest shareholdings of the Tata Group that has under its umbrella brands like Tetley Tea, Jaguar and Land Rover that they bought a few years ago for $2.99 billion. Also, the Mysteries own a substantial construction company named Shapoorji Pallonji. Some of Mumbai's landmarks around the fort area were built by this company. For his contributions in the field of trade and industry, he was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 2016 by the Government of India. Number 6. The Titanic was a uniquely Irish tragedy. The well-known ship Titanic was built in Northern Ireland back in 1911. The owner of the Titanic was the White Star Line Group, and it cost them $300 million to build it over 3 years' time. The so-called unsinkable ship took no longer than 3 hours to sink to the bottom of the North Atlantic in April of 1912. Over 1,500 men, women, and children died on that dark night, and many of them were Irish. Even if the Titanic carried a total of 20 lifeboats, there was not enough to save all the lives on board. The Titanic was designed to be the world's largest passenger steamship, and the fact that it sunk was one of the biggest tragedies of all time. Number 7. Conor McGregor, Irish MMA fighter, might go to jail after losing his UFC belt. Conor Anthony McGregor was born the 14th of July 1988, and he's an Irish professional mixed martial artist and boxer. He's been charged with 3 counts of assault and 1 count of criminal mischief in New York City, and if convicted at his trial, Conor McGregor could face over 7 years in jail. Conor handed himself into authorities a few days after the incident took place, and due to the fact that he did not fight in the UFC since 2016, he has to surrender the belt. Number 8. Vlogger Elle Darby was involved in the most aggressive scandal in 2017. Elle Darby is a 22-year-old vlogger from Somerset, and she describes herself as a fitness, beauty, and lifestyle YouTuber. The scandal started with an email sent by Elle to a hotel owner, asking if they would be interested in collaborating to promote them on her social media platforms if she was afforded a free stay. If not interested, the hotel could decline the offer or even ignore it. Instead, the hotel decided to publicly post her email on social media channels, along with a cruel response for the entire world to see. Going further, the hotel published a fake invoice listing all the publicity she'd received due to the original post going viral, and billing her for it. Ouch. Number 9. They have a young population. There's something that makes Ireland unique, especially when given the fact that Europe faces a decline in their demographics and struggles with a phenomenon called aging of population. Well, Ireland's in a much better place, with almost 30% of their population being under 25 years old, and 43% being between 25 and 54 years old. This might be a wonderful asset for their society and country, but to maximize the social and economic benefits, they must support young people and invest in the services they require. Even if this looks impressive on paper, studies have found that Ireland as well has faced a decline in their population over the last 5 years. Number 10. Ashford Castle is the most luxurious hotel in Ireland. You can't visit Ireland without enjoying the royal parts of it, Aluxers, and what better place to do so than at the most luxurious hotel the country has to offer? Your royal adventure begins when you enter through the grand stone fort gates of the striking 800-year-old castle. There, you can discover extremely beautiful and delicate interiors, a delicious cuisine, a cinema, a library, and state-of-the-art spa. As Ireland's top hotel destination and former home of the Guinness family, they are exceptional in every sense, but it comes with a price, around $4,000 per night for a couple's bedroom. Ashford is a 13th century castle built in the medieval age as a Victorian castle. It opened as a luxury hotel in 1939, and in 2015 was voted Best of the Best by Virtuoso, and in 2016, Best Resort in the UK and Ireland by Travel + Leisure. And Aluxers, if you want to learn some more about the most expensive places to stay while on holidays, make sure to watch our video, The 10 Most Expensive Hotels in the World, by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. The biggest St. Patrick's Day parade actually happens in the USA. You might expect St. Patrick's Day to be the one celebration in Ireland they make the most of, and you won't expect anyone else to celebrate it like they do. Well, it seems like the Americans are very fond of the holiday and are not afraid to show it, since the biggest St. Patrick's Day parade actually happens in New York City. Parades are held all over the world for this event, even if they are big or small, private, funny, or elitist. But the most impressive parade takes place in the United States of America, every year on the 17th of March. Ever since 1762, New York City hosts the world's largest St. Patrick's Day parade. No cars or floats are permitted in the parade, only bagpipes, bands, dancers, and thousands of participants, almost 200,000 of them each year. The parades in Dublin are not that fancy, but the celebrations do last for 4 days. Number 12. They are not the biggest drinkers. Even if they love their beer, it may come as a surprise to you that Irish people do not drink as much as you think they do. A recent survey shows that only 3% of Irish people regard themselves as heavy drinkers. They're actually 4th on the list after Austria, the Czech Republic, and Germany. On the other hand, they are the biggest tea drinkers, consuming an average of 1,184 cups per person per year. The downside is that 29% of those who consume a big amount of alcohol in one sitting do not believe they meet the definition of binge drinkers, but there are actually 75% of Irish adults who do not drink at all. Number 13. Bram Stoker, who wrote the novel Dracula, is Irish. Abraham Bram Stoker, a famous Irish author, was born November 8, 1847, and died April 20, 1912. Bram Stoker wrote 12 novels, including the famous Dracula and The Jewel of the Seven Stars, that inspired a pop culture movement around the idea of vampires. The Gothic novel Dracula, written in 1897, tells the story of Dracula's attempt to move from Transylvania to England in order to find new blood and spread the undead curse. A key inspiration for Dracula was Vlad the Impaler, a Romanian political figure. The prince was born in Transylvania in the 15th century and also was known as Vlad III of Wallachia. Manus the Magnificent once ruled over Ireland and was Stoker's direct ancestor, so he was also an influence on the book. Number 14. St. Valentine is buried in a Dublin church. Nothing says I love you better than a heart-shaped toy given to your significant other on the 14th of February. Well, actually, you know what? I can think of a few things that would be better than that, but the whole planet celebrates St. Valentine's Day in one way or another. But did you know that the protector of love is actually buried in a Dublin church? People who are desperate to find the love of their life actually go and pray at his grave, and couples get engaged there. Priest Father John Spratt was gifted the relics of St. Valentine, and they've been buried in Dublin since 1836. It's believed a long time ago, on February 14th, Father Valentine was beaten and executed by cutting his head off for refusing to obey the Emperor Claudius II. The emperor ruled that marriages and engagements were to be banned, but the priest continued to secretly marry couples. Number 15. Halloween comes from an Irish festival called Samhain. The Festival of Samhain in Celtic Ireland is one that can tell you more about the origins of Halloween. First of all, this was an important fire festival celebrated over the evening of October 31st and throughout the following day. The festival marked the end of the pastoral cycle, the time when people had to make supplies for the long winter ahead. The dark side of Halloween originates in the fact that it was believed that puka, banshees, and fairies would come out at night and trespass on the other world. If you're looking for the best Halloween party, go to Derry and you'll definitely have lots of fun there. Is Ireland impressive or what? We hope you enjoyed this video, Aluxers, and that it sparked a will to go visit this amazing country ASAP. Now before you go, we're curious. What's the craziest St. Patrick's Day party you've ever been to? And it seems you're still with us, huh? That's because you're a true Aluxer. Here's your bonus fact. Number 16. Only 10% of the Irish population is a natural redhead. Red hair is so rare that it accounts for only 0.6% of the world's population. 10% of the redheads in the world live in Ireland, but the highest percentage of natural redheads in the world is in Scotland, at 13%. Apart from that, 40% of Irish people might carry the ginger gene, but being a redhead has its pros and cons. As a pro, you're probably unique in your group of friends, and your hair does not go gray when you're older. But if your hair is much thicker and less compared to others, you might be more or less sensitive to pain. And if you're a redhead and you also have blue eyes, you're a part of that rare 1% population worldwide. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.